Chapter 7 Season 4's Override Story Moment live event is set to happen this Saturday, August 15th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, with certain things already going live, such as the countdown right above there. So in today's YouTube video, I'll be giving you an update on the most recent bits and pieces of information, such as surprise power hours happening before the season ends, certain sprites being made a lot more common to help you complete out your collection before the season's actually over, and more. But let's start it off with the actual teaser image. So we have right here, Unstable Story Moment, Saturday, August 15th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, with the Innovation, which is kind of like the 7 version of Sloan, and the Prophecy, which is the 7 version of Hope, all just being advertised right there for you to see. I know some people have been wondering when we're actually going to be getting the new 7 version of Hope in the actual Fortnite item shop, because it does have shop assets and everything, and while she hasn't already released and we don't have like a confirmed release date as of right now, I would not be surprised at all if we actually end up getting her the day of the live event, or the day before or the day after, or something like that, because you know, this is something where I definitely think she'll probably have a part in it, considering all of kind of like the 7 characters are involved in this. You know, it's kind of related to Jinno, it's related to the next season, and it's related to just the 7 in general and where we're heading with Chapter 7 Season 4 being the unstable or unglitched or whatever collided season. But Epic Games has given us a little bit of actual teaser information regarding live events, so let's go ahead and mention this. Jump into Battle Royale and make your way to the 0-point stabilizer to witness a new story moment. Mythic Sprite Hours will kick off right after the story event ends on Saturday, August 15th. You can jump in at 1:55 p.m. Eastern Time, and the story moment will actually begin at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So as we mentioned in the previous video, where I was like, you might want to queue in like 5 minutes before the actual live event, even Epic Games themselves is telling you the exact same thing I told you, so it's just something where you want to make sure you're there before the event actually goes live, so you don't actually end up missing anything, and you can get yourself a nice spot to actually view it. And they mentioned that all damage at the 0-point stabilizer will be reduced, so it doesn't mention that it will be disabled, but it will be reduced starting at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and it will be fully disabled at 1:55 p.m. Eastern Time. So this is an interesting thing that we haven't actually seen them do before, but will be kind of weird to see go down, because it's like half an hour before the event goes live. It's not that you can't eliminate people, it's just that it's going to take a lot longer. The TTK is going to be a lot longer in order to go ahead and get those eliminations, which makes me wonder why they're just reducing it instead of like fully disabling that early on. Maybe because it's like half an hour beforehand, but it's definitely something where I guess if you're in like a fight and you're trying to run away from the person, probably go ahead and run away from them and go to the 0-point stabilizer so that you at least have a higher chance of surviving. And then of course, as I mentioned, at 1:55 p.m. Eastern Time, all damage will be disabled over at the 0-point stabilizer, but kind of all over the island as well. So that is a nice thing to see, so that you don't kind of like get griefed or anything right before the event actually goes down, and you're able to kind of just witness it on its own. But they mentioned that once the story moment ends, damage will be instantly re-enabled. So if you're someone who's about to get into a fight or whatever with any other players in your lobby, don't expect to have a protection lasting forever, right? You're going to be having that protection lasting. Why am I not getting the 0-point effect? But you're not going to be having that protection lasting forever. Instead, it's going to be something where right after everything ends, you can go and fight off and have a war with everyone else on the island. Now, of course, they obviously mentioned to get in early and grab a perfect viewing spot because of the fact that you'll be able to enjoy the show better if you know where you're going to be sitting from. We don't really know where a perfect spot to watch it is as of yet because nothing has been decrypted. So I would assume find a mountain or something that overlooks that area. You know, don't be directly on the area, but kind of be near it, and you should be good to go. Now, they do mention that right after this unstable story moment ends, Mythic Sprite Hours will start at 2 p.m. Eastern Time and last until 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and then repeat at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and last until 11 p.m. Eastern Time, where during the Mythic Hours, everyone will start with 7 sliders and a self-revive device. Mythic sprites will appear more often, with an extra boost to the base version of the Grim and 0-point sprites. Now, this doesn't mean like the Galaxy version of it will actually be buffed or whatever for those sprites, but it does mean at least the base versions will be buffed, so you can find those a lot more often. They also mentioned all locations on the island offer higher quality loot, because every single POI during this event will be a legendary POI, and extracting a sprite will fully heal you and grant the slap effect for around like 15 seconds. On top of all of this, there's something that Epic Games hasn't really fully announced as of yet, but they've kind of teased towards it, and it's special power hours. Now, if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, we've kind of already had 2. We have the Iron Mouse hours, which were codenamed Pink, and then we had the purple power hours, hours, which was actually for the Fortnite Peaky Pilly power hours, and those were 2 unique power hours they went ahead and gone and did so that certain sprites became a lot more common. However, they have around 4 more power hours that they haven't announced as of right now that are not set to be on the weekends, but are set to be randomly activated that they'll be surprising us with as we get closer to the end of the season. These all go under different color code names, so while I'm unable to tell you which one actually buffs which, because that's all hot fixable by Epic Games, we do know that the color code names are red, blue, green, and yellow. So we have 4 power hours on top of this Mythic power hour, and then we of course have Mastery Monday happening tomorrow, and there's a lot of stuff kind of going on in order for you to finish out your sprite collection before the next season begins. It's also going to be interesting to see how sprites actually impact the next season, because based on leaks and everything else, it appears like we could potentially actually be getting these sprites in modes like Lego Fortnite, giving you more ways of actually collecting some of those sprites and mastering your collection every single season that they go ahead and continue adding them. And then of course we have new sprites being added next season, such as, you know, like a Midas sprite, potentially like a Guff sprite or something. So a lot of stuff just to kind of keep your eyes out for. But yeah, small little news recap, you know, tons of stuff going on with the Unstable Story Moment event, and tons of power hours being planned and crammed into the final like 2 weeks of the season. So go out there, complete your collection, let me know in the comments down below how the collection is coming along, and tell me where you think the best spot is to actually sit during this live event, because, you know, maybe I'll take some of your suggestions when I record my video on it. Because if we go over there and we look, right, this is the actual area, and a lot of nearby areas aren't really that much of like a higher ground, except maybe like the sphere on Sinister Strip, or I guess the shape, or maybe if you go over here near the 0 point. But I think just kind of being in this area right here is like the main spot to be, unless you can camp on like a nearby tree if it's high enough. But let me know in the comments down below where you plan on sitting, so I can figure out the best spot to yoink from you guys to use for my own content, and I'll catch you champs and champettes a little bit later with another upload. So until then, peace out.